Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 10th Annual Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation Conference. We are very excited to have in-person and virtual attendees. And I want to very first introduce the CCF staff to you, not individually, but I'd like them to stand. And I want you to notice these green clipboards. Hold up your clipboards. Okay, these are the people who are here to help you in the next 3 days. They have every room number, everything that you need to get where you need to go. Just look for the green clipboards. And then we're all wearing our conference shirts. And if you haven't seen the conference shirt, a patient last year sent me a shirt that said Hope Dealer on it. And I thought, you know what? That's the title for me, Hope Dealer. And so that's our conference shirt. You can get them out front if you would like to join us. I want to give just a few housekeeping items before I share with you just a little bit of hope and a little bit of overview of the conference. There are surveys, ways to chat and connect with other patients on the virtual platform, so please feel free to take advantage of those, and any of the staff can help you do that if you have questions. We have networking and a bingo card. So you can go to the different exhibit hall. You go to the exhibit hall and talk with the sponsors, get stamps. There's prizes. There are all kinds of things. We're really grateful to our sponsors. I'm going to show you a slide in a minute of who they are so that you can thank them. Also, the patient and caregiver lounge is 150, room 150, A, B, and C. It's beautiful. It's a relaxing place where you can go if you just need to take a minute or if you just need to rest. Just go there, or if you just want to visit and participate in some of the activities there. We're thankful to the Fleischers and to the committee who helped us put that lounge together. Thank you so much. And for our sponsors who sponsored that lounge. Couple other things. There are several things for you to participate in the next 3 days. One of them is the GWAS. Matt, would you stand up, please? Matt Cooley is a researcher from Mayo Clinic. We have partnered with Mayo Clinic for 10 years on the GWAS study. One of the first questions we get asked, every patient asks, is, what about my children? What about my grandchildren? What about, and this is what the GWAS is giving us. The more patients, both cholangiocarcinoma patients and those without, enter in and participate in this study, the more information that we can get about the genetics and other important parts of the research that we want to understand better. Also, there's a heredogene from IHC is here. They are participating as well. There is one blood draw if you want to participate in the GWAS, and it goes to 2 studies. You can help in 2 ways. And so we would love to have you do that if you would consent to do that. The other is our relationship with Invitae Citizen. This is the CCF patient registry. Where's Connor? I don't see them in the room yet, but the Invitae team is here, and they are here to help you. This is one of the ways that we can work together closely as a community to really move the research forward, to get these researchers the information that they need to do the work. Also, you probably noticed in the mailroom, on the back half of that is the service project. We are doing 2,500 newly diagnosed kits for patients who come into our portal, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. At any time during the conference, you can just go back and assemble those kits. Everything's laid out for you. It's very simple. It'll take you a minute, but this entire community can work together to help provide something for these newly diagnosed patients that will help them. Okay, here we go. Okay, So the 10th annual conference, we have patients from 33 countries. We have every state represented except Alaska, Mississippi, North and South Dakota, and Wyoming. Oh, okay. I blame that on Rick. Sorry. Thank you for the correction, I appreciate that. So more than 500 in person and more than probably about 600 virtually. And could I get a tissue, please? Sorry. Okay, thank you. And this is my sister, Kelly. Yeah, just there. Okay, and don't get uncomfortable with crying because that's just me and that's gonna happen. So we could not do this event without our sponsors. We are so grateful. And if you have been following the foundation for a long time, you know that we were begging pharma to jump into this space and create some drugs and develop drugs for you. And look at that list. Please. One of the other things that you can do is visit them in the exhibit hall and please thank them. Please thank them for developing drugs. It's very difficult. There's a high bar. And as the foundation, we've been trying to lower that bar to let these drug companies jump in and work in this space. And so many of them have taken this on. We're so grateful. Okay. 2014, this was the first annual conference. This is Dr. Abu Alpha. Dr. Abu Alpha and his wife, Eileen O'Reilly, both at MSKCC, helped us develop the book, 100 Questions and Answers for Patients. It was a really nice process to work through, and as we were considering how we were gonna move things forward, I asked Dr. Abu Alpha if he would chair our first scientific and medical advisory board. And as we were talking about what we wanted to do and how we would do it, and we were talking about we needed to have a conference, we needed to bring people together. And these are pictures from our first conference. Dr. Abu Alpha, people ask me all the time, why do we have this conference in Salt Lake City? That's because that's where Dr. Abu Alpha wanted it. Not because I live here. He wanted it to be a destination meeting like San Antonio is for breast cancer. And so that's what we did. And we had this in a little conference area up at the Huntsman Cancer Center, and there were about 50 of us. There were no patients there, just doctors and researchers from all over. That was the very first conference. And if you can imagine, when you look here today, you can see the little pulpit. Where's my, oops, sorry. Right there, that little pulpit. We had a little Velcro picture of the foundation, and that was it. We stuck that up there, it kept falling off. That was the first conference. So thank you to everyone who's helped us, who's worked with us, who's volunteered their time and effort so that we can be here today in this magnificent building. These are the chairs through the years. You can see some of the greatest scientists and clinicians working in this cancer have all volunteered their time to be here and to help you. And the numbers just keep increasing. So you can see just a few pictures and different things that over the years, 59, our first number, and now well over 1,000. So I want to talk with you just about the beginning of advocacy. It's my brother Mark and his wife Marianne and their 3 children, and you can see their 4th child was born 2 months after Mark was diagnosed. Marianne's holding baby Lucas in her arms. He was diagnosed when he was 38 in the fall of 2005. And this is me and my sister Kelly and my youngest sister Amy, and we were his advocacy team. And we went to bat for him, trying to find out everything that we could for him, just like you're doing for your loved ones, and just like you're doing as a patient. I'm just going to share a little bit of what this has looked like in the last 10 years. This was 17 years ago. So as we became formally organized, Our first advocacy efforts, and many of you will remember Marianne Schwartz. Marianne's husband passed away from cholangiocarcinoma, and she was a fighter. And she was in it, and she was in it for the patients. She had the honor of being the first patient advocate ever to serve on the NCI task force. And Dr. Alan Van Nook from UCSF helped appoint her to that because he was on our scientific and medical advisory board and knew that we needed to have a place there. She served fearlessly for the patients, and she trained Melinda. And she was a great mentor and a great researcher and studier. Marion worked with us for years, and just a couple months after she retired, she passed away from lung cancer. But she gave everything that she had for this community. So we started with the discussion board, and many of you know that. This year, after 16 years, we archived the discussion boards. There are about 55 unique users who were on the discussion boards regularly, and almost 84,000 threads. A lot of information there. This is saved. It will never go away. It's not active, so you can't continue to post. Most of you work together on social media, but all of the information that's there is still available and is archived. We're so grateful to Rick, who, when I was trying to connect with other patients and caregivers and researchers, and I said, Rick, how am I going to do this? He said, we'll set up a discussion board. I don't know what a discussion board was. This was in 2005, but this was the beginning. And I should say thank you to Marion, to Gavin Strachan, to Mary Ott, to Lainey Sardina, to so many who moderated those boards for years and helped patients navigate their treatment pathway. Just some more pictures there of early, and I wanted to show you what advocacy looks like today. You can see there on the left that Melinda and her team are serving on multiple task forces, steering committees. They're advocating in every possible way they can, updating standards at the NCCN, all over the place. And then I'm serving as well in several of those different steering committees. We're doing everything we can to connect with other organizations. We always want to collaborate. That's just our best pathway forward. And so, this gives you a better idea of what's happening across the globe. These are some of the organizations that are working in this space that we partner with regularly. We have, over the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, been working with a Japanese Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation, the Daisy Foundation. It has been an absolute joy to watch them. We work with them, quarterly. What do they need? We don't want anyone to have to reintroduce the will, right? We want to help. We want them to stand on our shoulders. We want them to translate the materials they have. We know that patients are best served within the country where they reside because those advocates understand the healthcare systems. They understand the different issues that are unique to each country. But we want to help them in any way we can. So Russia, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Italy, these are all groups that are up and coming that we're trying to support and help. And these are just some general pictures of different advocacy things that we've been doing over the last 10 years. So I want to talk a little bit about industry because you saw the sponsors. When we were really working to get these companies to come into this space, the very first company that jumped in was Agios, which is Servier now, and they're here today. And that's Susan Pandia. You can see in that picture, her aunt passed away from cholangiocarcinoma, and this was personal for her. And it was personal for us, and we were so excited. And we worked with them all completely through their FDA approval and beyond now. And now we're working on a white paper about our experience with them about using crossover for the patients so that they could get their trial approved, get it accrued, and get it approved. We're really proud of our work with industry, and this just represents the very first partner who came and worked with us. So this is another company that we've worked with since 2017. We have timelines like this for all of the companies that we work with. We want to document the work, and I know you can't read what's on that what's on that list. But that is dozens and dozens and dozens of interactions. That's patient advisory boards, physician advisory boards, patient education resources that we help them develop, patient webinars, surveys, all kinds of things that we're working with to help educate you about options that might be available for you. So what does that mean over the years? It means in the last 2.5 years, 5 FDA approvals specific for cholangiocarcinoma patients. And I thought this was a great slide that just shows the timeline. I want you just to see from, right, ABC02, this is Juan Vallée and John Bridgewater in the UK. This is where we get our GEMSIS standard of care. And look at that, you're looking at the red. So look at the red, those are the FDA approvals. And you look, and then 2017, we get a solid tumor approval, right? And then 2020, and boom, 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 boom. And the pipeline is full. Many drug companies are developing drugs for you. And also in solid tumors, there are so many opportunities for patients. And please, if you are confused and you're not sure how to navigate that, please talk with Melinda and her team, and they will help you. They will help you learn how to navigate clinicaltrials.gov. So today, I'm announcing that we are working on a collaboration on a new patient-centric clinical trial, which is going to make more targeted therapy opportunities for you. And this is a CCF initiative in collaboration with GCAR, which is a nonprofit CRO, and then several of the investigators. And there are several meetings this week. On Friday from 12:25 to 1:05 p.m. in 150G, there's a meeting there that you can attend and get more information. They're going to talk briefly. They have 15 minutes in the general session from 3 to 3:15. And then Thursday and Friday, for all the drug companies, the investigators, anyone who wants to go in and have a meeting with them about this clinical trial, you're going to be able to go and do that. So there's going to be more information coming. It isn't named yet, but it's coming, and this is going to be really exciting for us to all work together on something really important. So we're really excited about this. We're going to talk just a little bit about patient advocacy, support, and education, because patients are the heart of all we do. And I want to talk about the newly diagnosed program. This is a program that we started in 2021, and I think many of you probably found the foundation coming through that portal. 1,600 of the care kits that you are putting together have been distributed since that time, August of 2021. We have a health data partner, Komodo Health, and we can see, through the claims data, we can see how many newly diagnosed cholangiocarcinoma patients come in to the insurance, the claims system. So this will not account for patients who do not have insurance. But what we see is about 244 newly diagnosed patients are coming through that system every week, okay? We are capturing 25 of those every week come into our newly diagnosed portal. We have a big gap there that we're trying to address. We send out emails. We don't see the patients. We don't see individual patient data. What we see is the provider data. We see the providers that are putting those codes in when they have a newly diagnosed cholangiocarcinoma patient. And so we send emails to them, we send videos to them, right? We send Melinda sending a video to them. Please let these patients know that there are long-term survivors. There's hope. There's, let us connect you with some specialists to the primary oncologist, and let the patients connect with us so that we can connect them with you, with this community. So lots of very exciting things happening there. Part of the newly diagnosed program is a survey that goes out to the patients, and 68% of those patients, of the 100 that are coming into our system monthly, 68% of those want to be directly contacted by the foundation. They want to talk to Melinda and her team. They want more information. They need help. Almost 70%. 49% of those had biomarker testing. Those numbers are going up, and we're really happy to see that, although we know that for many of you that's still not the case, and we're working on that. You can see that 81% are white, non-Hispanic, and we would love your ideas on how we can reach out farther into the community, into community oncology. Whether that's languages, translated materials, we're always trying to reach out. We really want to help those patients that need our help. So if you have any thoughts and ideas, please talk with a staff member, and we would love to hear your thoughts on that. So the other statistic that is probably not startling to you as a patient, but I hope that our industry partners and everyone else in the room can understand that 83% of the patients who answer those surveys have severe to moderate anxiety. So I wanted to just share with you some of the programs. We understand this. Every board member and all of the staff, we're watching patient videos regularly, or we've experienced it ourselves. We know what anxiety is. We understand that because we've been through it ourselves. So let me just share with you a couple of the programs. I'm sure you're all, if you're not familiar with Cholangio Connect, then you need to get connected. This was a program that a young father with a young child whose wife passed from cholangiocarcinoma wanted to connect with another young father with a child. He needed help, and he couldn't find the specific help that he needed. So he had a vision of this program, and Patty Maxson came in and made it happen. So to date, from 2017, we have made 921 mentor-mentee matches. And just in January of 2023, we saw a 77% increase in mentor requests. If you have the capacity to be a mentor, even if you feel like you're not qualified, you totally are. You're not giving medical advice, you're just being a listening ear, mostly, and we will train you, we will help you, we will give you the support you need. We need your help. If you know other long-term survivors who would be interested or would be willing, we would love to have them help support other newly diagnosed patients through the Cholangio Connect, or caregivers. We do support for caregivers too, that's caregivers and patients. So, okay, the other part of this is educational webinars and virtual support groups. We've had 53 educational webinars, and we have an average viewership of about 350 views. We do virtual support groups. There's a patient support group, there are caregiver support groups, there's a Canadian support group, there's a Spanish support group, there's a veteran support group, and there's a bereaved support group. The average attendance in those is about 25 per, but I would say I've attended a couple of I attend them regularly, and I like to listen in, and I have to just kind of keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening. Many of them have been 50 or more that I have attended. So these are very popular, and we're trying to address your needs and help you with the things that you need help with. And grateful to Melinda, Lourdes, and Emma who run those support groups. The Nutrition and Cholangiocarcinoma book was published in July of 2022, and we've distributed well over 1,000 copies. This is a great resource, and one of the top 3 things that patients ask us when they come into this space is, what do I need to be eating or not eating? You know, what direction do you have for nutrition? And so this book addresses all of that. It was done in partnership with the Oncology Dietitian Practice Group, and it's specific to cholangiocarcinoma patients. This is the 100 Question and Answers book from Dr. Albo Alpha and Dr. O'Reilly. We've distributed well over 7,000 copies, and this is just a great basic. It's simple to read. There are lots of graphics and things in there to help you understand the disease better. So please, these are all free. Both the nutrition book and the 100 Questions and Answers are free for patients. You can download it if you'd like, or we have physical copies as well. A lot of educational videos. And some of them, we have multiples that are offered in different languages: English, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, Mandarin, and Thai. And we're working on more translations. And today, you're going to see the next brand new video in the series. And this one is on immunotherapy. So I'm hoping this is going to work.
Immunotherapy for cancer. Immunotherapy is a type of cancer treatment that uses a person's own immune system to help fight cancer. You already know that your immune system can help protect you from bacteria, viruses, and other foreign substances. This is done through a complex network of organs, proteins, and white blood cells that work together to recognize and destroy invaders without harming your body. Your immune system actually has the ability to find and destroy cancer cells too. But since these cells evolved from healthy cells, they have lots of ways to evade the immune system. Cancer cells can impersonate normal healthy cells, so the immune system ignores them. Just like healthy cells, cancer cells can stop immune cells from attacking them by showing a protein on the surface of their cells that basically puts the brakes on the T cells of the immune system. And even when the immune system tries to fight cancer cells, the immune response may not be strong enough. Immunotherapies can enhance the immune system so it can see and attack cancer cells. There are many different types of immunotherapy for cancer, and they each work in different ways. For example, monoclonal antibodies are designed to mark specific features found on cancer cells, so these cells can be seen and destroyed by the immune system. Checkpoint inhibitors are a type of monoclonal antibody. Checkpoint inhibitors release the brakes on the immune system so it can attack cancer cells. Cell therapies boost the power of immune system cells to fight your cancer. In CAR T-cell therapy, for example, T cells are taken from your body, then re-engineered at a special manufacturing facility to give them a new receptor that can target a specific protein found on cancer cells. The re-engineered T cells are then returned to your body to generate an immune response. And cancer vaccines can train your immune system to prevent or treat certain kinds of cancer. They can treat cancer by stimulating an immune response against specific features found in cancer cells. Immunotherapies are being used to treat more and more types of cancer. They may be used alone or in combination with other cancer treatments. Like other cancer treatments, immunotherapies can cause side effects. These are largely caused by the amped-up immune system impacting some healthy cells. The side effects vary depending upon which immunotherapy is used, your type of cancer, overall health, and so on. Talk with your doctor if you have questions about side effects or how to best treat your cancer. A message from the Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation. Learn more at curecca.link/learn-more. You and your doctor are a team in your care. This video is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be a substitute for medical advice. Talk with your doctor to learn more about your disease.
We have another video where this has been such a great partnership with us with D2 and some of our sponsors. We're so thankful. They're so helpful. We hear all the time how helpful these are to patients. We have another video that'll be coming out next month. You'll all be very happy to hear. It's about understanding your biomarker testing results. This was the hardest video we have ever put together, and it's taken a ton of work to get it right for you, but we're really excited to have that come out next month. So 16 years of volunteering. I'm going to go through these quickly. Volunteers, we could not do what we do without volunteers. Hands down, we could not do it. We were all volunteers for the first 5 years of this foundation. And we have over 100 active volunteers. They have given over 6,000 plus volunteer hours in 2022. Just on the World Cholangiocarcinoma Day, we had over 500,000 new reaches on social media. So very exciting. I know that you all know the benefits of volunteering, and if you don't, just take a look at this slide and all the references down below. This is a hard disease, but I am so inspired by those of you who are, even though you're fighting cholangiocarcinoma, you're fighting anxiety, you're fighting depression and other things that are so hard, that you're sharing your time and your efforts with others. You're loving and lifting and blessing them. And that's how I want you to feel here. I want you to feel us lifting you up, us loving you, and us blessing you in every way that we can. The other thing that's happened is just remarkable financial growth for the foundation. And while that, if you look at 2013, we took in about $200,000, and this fiscal year we'll do about a little over $5 million. And so what does that mean for you as patients? Because my goal is not to grow the foundation. My goal is to have the foundation strong enough that we can support the needs of the patients. And that growth comes through our industry partnerships. It comes through our community fundraiser. You can see a little star there, the Quack Out Cholangio 5K is our biggest fundraiser of the year, community fundraiser. We raised $1.2 million from Facebook fundraisers, Team CCF, 1,500 plus participants in 10 countries, raising $600,000. Jason Scott, who is one of our board members, just completed raising $1 million on the Scott Family Challenge. We have monthly donors. We have donors supporting Awareness Month. We are so grateful for all of you because your fundraising helps us raise money for research fellowships. These are some of the institutions that we have supported in the last, since 2015 in research fellowships. And this is the research that helps us find a pathway toward cure. So this is additional research funding. You can see all of these institutions, that's where that money goes, is to funding these institutions who are doing the research and getting them to collaborate and share data and all of these things working together. We do have an opportunity. I want to thank Melissa and Barry Peoples for their generosity this week. And they are honoring they're honoring Melissa's mother, Debbie Rose, and I think Debbie's here, so that may be a surprise to Debbie. But they are doing a matching gift of $10,000. So just because we have 500 people in person here, if everyone went to the Giving Tree and clicked on that, or you can click on it here and donated $20, we would be done. We would have raised $20,000 in this conference period. So I would encourage you to take a minute. The Giving Tree is outside in the hallway, and share so that we can keep this research going, this important research. Thank you to the Peoples, so generous. I'm just reiterate some of the things that Melinda already told you. There are many opportunities. Please join the CCF patient registry. Please participate in the GWAS. There are opportunities for you at lunchtime. EPIC, which is engaging patients in cholangiocarcinoma. This is one of the most popular things that we do. It's patients sitting down with our industry partners and just talking and trying to figure out better ways forward. I would also ask you, we have video and photography here. There are so many long-term survivors in this room. Whether you're a long-term survivor or not, it's really helpful for us to record your stories, and let me tell you why. When patients come in through that newly diagnosed portal, or when they call, when they get to talk to Melinda, who's a 13-year survivor, and it's just relief. In the last 6 weeks, I have talked to a neurologist whose mother passed away from cholangiocarcinoma, a friend of my brother's from high school whose sister has cholangiocarcinoma, and my old boss from 25 years ago whose niece was just diagnosed with cholangiocarcinoma. That's just me in 6 weeks. Each of you have a story to tell, and they need to hear just a little bit of hope. Just the relief to talk to someone who can give them some guidance is such a help. So please go back to the photography and the videography room, share your stories, help us to help the patients feel hope. That's what we really want, hope dealers, right? And then the last thing that I wanted to say is, I'm sure many of you have heard this story, and it was on my mind this week, of the starfish thrower. So there's a young girl walking on the beach, and there's an older gentleman sitting on the beach, and he can see her far away off, and he sees that she keeps kind of squatting down and standing up, and he's like, what is she doing? They just had a big storm. There were thousands of starfish on the beach. And he could see, as he was just watching her come along, that she was just bending down and picking up starfish and throwing them into the ocean. And as she came closer to him, he said, there's thousands of starfish on the beach. Do you really feel like you're making a difference? And she just smiled and looked at him and, bent back down and picked up a starfish and said, it matters. It makes a difference for this one, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We will never reach every cholangiocarcinoma patient, but we are reaching the ones that we can, and we will help wherever we can, because that's what we're here to do. So I want you to know that you are here among friends. We are here to support you and help you and to love and lift and bless you in any way that we can. Please, if you have not personally met me, please come and introduce yourself to me. I want to meet you. I'm going to be busy, but I have time. I have time to meet you, and I want to meet you, and so does the staff. We're so grateful that you're here, and I want to introduce our chairs. Put my glasses back on. Okay. So the co-chairs are Dr. Chiara Bocconi. Chiara is a Lord Kelvin Adams Smith Associate Professor at the University of Glasgow and holds an honorary contract as consultant medical oncologist at the Beatson West of Scotland Cancer Centre. She currently works in the School of Cancer Sciences, where she's developed a research platform on biliary cancers, connecting laboratory research and early clinical development in order to accelerate the field of predictive biomarkers and therapeutics. So Chiara, come on up. And then Dr. Lara Goff, who is a medical oncologist who specializes in gastrointestinal cancers, particularly hepatobiliary cancers. She joined the faculty of the GI oncology program at Vanderbilt in 2007, completed a Master's of Science in Clinical Investigation in 2008. She's been a member of the NCI HEP Task Force, the American Society of Clinical Oncology Professional Development Committee, Education Committee, Scientific Programming Committee, and the Executive Committee of the International Cholangiocarcinoma Research Network. So, Dr. Goff, please come up.